Hey, in this video I'm going to show you how you can add your own custom signature or watermark to your images. So this is a common thing if you want to sign your work or you want to add a custom logo or some other means of identification for your work. I'm going to show you how you can use Photoshop Actions in order to do that. So in order to make this work, what we want to do is we want to record the action. So you'll want to make sure that Window Actions is open. And if you look at this panel, you'll see that I already have some actions already set up by default. These are other actions that I've already created here. What we're going to do is we're going to create a brand new action. And this action is basically like a little recording. We're going to record something for Photoshop to watch, and then we're going to play the action back. And we can play this action back over and over again. So let's go ahead and set up that recording right now. So we're going to go to the hamburger menu and choose New Action. We're going to give it a name. We'll call this Sign the Drawing. And then I'm going to set a color for this, and we'll talk about what that color does later on. And then if you want, you can optionally assign a keyboard shortcut to the command. I'm going to use F11 in this case. And you can choose which set. Now I've got different action sets here. Let's just keep it to default actions to keep this thing simple. So let's go ahead and hit record. And this says that this shortcut will hide the action of the MS HUD mode. So if you already have a keyboard shortcut assigned to F11, this will overwrite that. So you want to be sure that you're okay with doing that. So I'm just going to click OK. And I'm going to turn to the type tool, and I'm going to go to a font that I've created myself using my last name, and I'm going to type in my last name, and I'm actually going to type this in kind of a really awkward green color. And the reason for that is that if you're working against a white background or a black background, sometimes your signature will just disappear. And I'm also going to go ahead and put the signature somewhere in the center, because I deal with images that could be landscape or portrait. And if you put the signature to a corner, it might just be invisible. It'll still be there on the layer, but you won't be able to easily find it. So that's the reason why I'm choosing this garish color. So now that I have that signature in place, I can go ahead and maybe transform it, hit enter, and everything that you see that I'm doing is being recorded. Photoshop is watching every step that I'm taking on this. And once I'm happy, I can just go ahead and hit the stop item here. So the red indicates that it's recording. It's just waiting for me to do the next action. And if I hit stop, it finishes recording. So watch what happens now. So I've got my signature here. Let's go ahead and see if this action actually works. I'll delete that layer. I'll make a brand new layer, and let's go back to the actions panel. Now I can play this action by either hitting the F11 keyboard shortcut, or I can hit the play button that's on the actions panel. So I'll go ahead and hit the play button just so you can see what this does. So it's run through those three commands in a very fast way. And let's now go ahead and verify that the keyboard shortcut works. So once again, make a new layer. If I hit F11, boom, I've got the keyboard shortcut for my signature. So that's the first method. Now, what if you have an existing watermark that you want to go ahead and use? Well, let's consider that idea right now. And for this particular case, I'm going to make a brand new document, and I'll make this document roughly 1,000 pixels wide by 600 pixels tall. I'm just picking a relatively small sized canvas, and let's just say that I'm going to go ahead and create my logo here, and this logo is just going to be a simple circle that's going to have two colors. So I'm not recording anything, I'm just basically setting up my logo. And then what I need to do is I need to rasterize these layers and merge them. And I'll just go ahead and change this outer color to something a little bit less obnoxious. Let's just go ahead and choose white. And then let's add a simple stroke on the outside of maybe 2 pixels. And let's go ahead and just put something in there. So I'll just go ahead and change the type, shrink it down, and I'll just adjust the spacing so I have something that I can work with. In fact, what I'll do is I'll just switch this to capitalization just so it looks a little bit cleaner. And here is just a simple logo. So when you're happy with this logo, what you can do is you can just go ahead and save it off as a separate PSD. In this particular case, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to get rid of our background so that we have a transparent background, and I'm going to merge these layers together. So basically, this is the logo. So if I wanted to be able to inject this logo into my other document here, the first thing I want to do is let me just go ahead and save this document first, and I'll save this to my desktop, and I'll just call this logo. And wherever you're saving this logo to, you want to make sure that it's always going to stay there. So the desktop may not be the greatest place to put it. You may want to put it into a custom folder. So I'll go ahead and click Save, and I'll close this. And now I want to go ahead and record the macro or the action to be able to put that logo in. So what I'll do is I'll go into my Actions panel, click on the hamburger menu, choose New Action. I'll type in Insert Logo. And I'm just going to go ahead and skip the keyboard shortcut for this right now. And I'll just maybe add a different color. And I'll again show you what these colors will do. And we'll click Record. And so now Photoshop is going to watch whatever I do. So the first thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and open my logo image. Then I want to select the image. So I can hit Command A, and that will go ahead and select all. Command C to copy it. And then I can switch to my new document, Command V to paste it. And I'll just maybe move it off to the side. And that's my recording. I'm going to now stop what I've done here and take a look at my layers panel. You can see that I've got my logo. Let's see if this actually works. So if I go back to my actions, I can choose the insert logo and I can hit the play button and my logo pops. Now, let's say that I have a different document. So let me go ahead and close this first document here and just open up a brand new document. And I'll make this 5100 by 33 pixels, 3300 pixels wide. So now if I go back to my actions, let me show you another easy way where you can actually look at these actions. If you click on the hamburger menu and choose button mode, you will now see all of your actions as buttons. This is a much easier and cleaner way to look at your actions. So now if I click Insert Logo, it pops up and it places it exactly where I had it before. Now again, if I have a different sized or different formatted canvas, it's placing this logo in an absolute pixel location horizontally and vertically. So you just want to be aware of the fact that if you're dealing with a portrait type canvas, that logo may not show up where you think it's going to, but it's going to create the layer for it and you have to manually move it. So I can also sign the drawing and you can see that my signature shows up. And so hopefully this will be useful for you when you are working on your own documentation, or whether you're working on a drawing or an illustration. If you want a quick way to go ahead and sign or add a watermark, you should be able to do that with this tip. If you found this tip to be useful, please go ahead and hit the like button. I would definitely appreciate a subscription, but more importantly, if you can tell a friend or two that could benefit from this, I would greatly appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.